Hello everybody, Steffi here from The Makers, and you're all here today to make one of these creepy giants of the ocean, or I don't know, there's lots of interesting facts about octopus, and the plural, while we're at it, is octopuses, apparently because it comes from a Greek word and it means 8 feet, and that's already so there's no sort of octopi or octopussies or octo something else. It's just octopuses. You're allowed to say that. It sounds wrong, but it's exactly the right thing. But we're only making one today, so you might not even have to know the plural. And of course, it's needle felting, and of course, we're using one of our kits, the needle felted octopus kit, which you can buy from our website. If you're watching this anytime outside the summer season in the UK, then this might not be available as a kit, but we do have it as a downloadable PDF, and we sell all the bits and pieces to go with it as well. So I'm going to say a quick hello to everybody here. Excuse me. We've got Bridget here. Hello. Bonnie, hi from Louisiana. Oh, hello. Happy Independence Day to everybody for yesterday. I forgot. Well, I didn't forget, but I was too busy to put it anywhere out there, so I'm saying it in retrospect. Ashley is there. Hello. Oh, we do Celsius and metric measurements since the 60s. Aha. Where's that come from? Oh yes, here we are. Oh, because Bonnie says how hot or cold it is. I have no idea what Fahrenheit is. One of those things I just haven't really got my head around. Marion is there. Rachel is there. Karen, hello. Erica, hello, Erica. And Ava is there. Carol, Gina, Sandra, Heather. Marilyn from New Hampshire. Elizabeth. Sorry, going through it all. Alison, if I said it already, you get it mentioned twice. Donna is there, another Carol, and Rose, and Kat from Pennsylvania. Sorry, I'm only reading it out because where you're from, because you happen to tell me Susan from Florida. So here we go. Maybe everybody needs to say where they're from, and then you get a mention too. Some of you, of course, I know where you're from because I remember where you're from. But anyway, let's have a look what today's price is, because that is always interesting when you watch this live on a Tuesday and on a Thursday. On Tuesday on YouTube and on Thursday on Facebook. Tuesday today, 5th of July, 1 p.m. British summertime. And tell us, what is your favorite sea creature if you have one, and tell us why you like it best. What is it about it that you love? And maybe you've got some exciting stories to tell us. Maybe you have been swimming with the dolphins and snorkeling with an octopus, and whatever sea creature there is. Maybe it's a mystical one as well. And when you have an answer for us, then pop it into the comments, whether this is on Tuesday the 5th of July at 1 p.m. 2022, or whether it is on the 7th of July over on Facebook at 7 p.m. Pop it in the comments, and then we will draw a winner. In fact, Alicia does that by random, so we don't judge the answers. You can say whatever you like, within reason, of course. Keep it clean so I can read it out. Okay, here we go. That's the competition question done. So hopefully lots of people are commenting. Please give us the thumbs up if you're watching this, whether this is on Facebook or on YouTube. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow our page on Facebook as well. We are themakers.co.uk on Facebook. Tag us on Instagram at themakers, and join our needle felting group, Everyone a Maker, to share your photos if you're doing this on Facebook. Otherwise, tag us on your social media feeds. Right, let's have a look inside the kit. I'll do this with the overview scene. And here we are. Kit comes open. Our full color instructions are in there. I shall be following them as much as I can. And then you have got in there lanolin rich core wool, fox red variegated, dragon mix. You have got light yellow New Zealand merino. You have got a white wool. I just need to look it up what that actually is. It's white Australian merino, and you've got some Portuguese merino brown. You also get in your kit 1 coarse and 2 medium felting needles, our little eco wool mat, and most importantly, you're getting these fluffy pipe cleaners that will make the legs. And I'm going to now take my stuff and we can start doing this together. Right, so if you haven't got this at the ready, you can of course use other materials, whatever you have got at home. These pipe cleaners, they're extra fluffy. There's a wrong one snuck in there. You will need 4. Oh, that's really weird. Okay, you will need 4. I've only got 3 here, so I'm going to go and find one in a minute. It's dropped, and so I'm going to get it out of the box. And 3 of these super, I'm just going to show you them overhead, because what's special about them, they are indeed special. These are no cheap pipe cleaners. Our luxury, whether it's the really fluffy ones or whether it's the slightly thinner ones, if you bend them, you cannot see the wire. That is what makes them so special. They are really, really densely covered in this very soft chenille. And this is why you can use them on the outside of your felted project. This is why we use them for the mice and other crafty creatures. And that is because it doesn't matter if you bend them really tight, you cannot see the wire. And that's exactly what we want with these pipe cleaners. So that's why they're special. You can find them on our website. They we've actually called them Octopus pipe cleaners. So you can look for that. And then we've got all the other bits of wool here, and I shall start that in a minute. Before I start, I will go and get myself another pipe cleaner, and what I will show you is the next live streams that are coming up. Everybody's looking forward to the Moon Fairy, because she's our Maker's Fairy box, so our subscription box for July. And she's so beautiful. She's really lovely. I love her sleepy look. She's all like nice, and you can cozy her up on the moon, or you can have her hanging on the moon, inside the moon, either way. And then of course we're doing our donut key rings. They're just a bit of fun. We have got a pack for this, so you can still have time to get that. And then we're doing the small gnome, which is out of the new Making Fairy Folk book. So that's just, again, a little bit of fun, making use of maybe some of your stash that you've got at home. And these are all on the Tuesday, so 12th of July, 19th of July and 26th of July, each at 1 o'clock, and then they get repeated at 7 p.m. on Facebook in the same week. Right, I've got 4 pipe cleaners now. I should also say that we have got quite a lot of the sea type creatures already as a live stream on our YouTube channel. Now this is the most delicate display I have ever made, but if you want to make other things, we have got the clamp. That's definitely a tutorial on our YouTube channel. We've got the starfish, we've got the little fishes that are all strung up here, we've got that twisted shell, we've got pebbles. So all of that is already available on our YouTube channel. And of course, if you really want to complete your whole image of the ocean, or scenes of the ocean, then you must get our dolphin maker subscription box for July. That's here, ready for you to be sent out, and that makes a jumping dolphin on a stand, and it stands really sturdy as well. You can sort of twist it around a little bit, but you can have the dolphin more curved or less curved, and it's a great way, or a great technique, to teach you how to make a stand for other things if you want to make other creatures that need to be on a solid base. Right, I'm going to start now with the octopus, and I'm going to the overhead camera here to help me do that. I'm just going to grab the instructions out of my box and try and follow them as closely as I can, because as you all know, you can always make things slightly different. So what you want to do is you want to make the ends of this pipe cleaner a bit more tapered. For this you will need some scissors, and all you're going to do is you just cut the outside edge of the fluffy part while carefully holding the pipe cleaner with the other hand. And you want to do this sort of about 2 centimeters along. So you're actually cutting the fluff off, but only on the very end of the octopus. So I'm going round. Maybe not use your best scissors like I do in case you cut into the wire, but so far I've been okay. So you do want to get quite close to the wire and you sort of taper it so that it's it gently, it's like more like a gradient, and then you do that on each end because all 4 ends will be displayed. There we go. It's work of concentration only because I'm worried about my scissors. If you have got to worry about your scissors, then take some cheap old scissors and just cut it. That is, these must be the scissors I cut my pipe cleaners with because they're very blunt, so they're not cutting as neatly. Anyway, just cut them off. Okay, I'm going back to my nice scissors. By the way, these scissors are really, really nice. They're genuinely nice. We do sell them as well, so they are a nice, lovely, heavy set of scissors. Very sharp, very precise. They cut all the way on the blade, all the way to the very tip of the blade. Unless you use them for wire cutting, then you will not have them sharp for very long. There we go. And cut all my way around. Whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to give you some more facts about octopus. I looked them up because they are, as I said earlier in my post on social media, they're a little bit like mermaids. Some people love them. Some people find them really scary and creepy. It's not helped by some of the sort of images that have been portrayed of the octopus through films and stories, but they are actually they're quite old. I think the first fossils were found and they dated them back 296 million years ago. So that's when already octopus, I wanted to say walked the earth, but they didn't obviously walk the earth, swam the seas. And that's the first time, that's how far back they found a fossil. And the other really fun fact about them is that they, you probably know this already, they have 2 hearts, and one of the hearts stops beating when they're swimming. So they don't actually swim. They're not such vigorous swimmers because that's why they sort of crawl along the seabed more, because it's actually really tiring swimming for them. Because they only have 2 hearts to keep them going. And that's another fun fact. Another fun fact is that octopus, sometimes when you say, oh, I'm like an octopus, I'm juggling all these different things, it's because their arms have actually got their own nerve system. So they can independently, the arms, it doesn't get, the arm movement doesn't get organized by the brain. It happens all in the arms. So they can actually do one thing with their arms and then do something else with the other arms because it's independent. So they're true multitaskers. Yeah, that's so they can crack open a shell with one set of arms, and then with the other set of arms they're going to look for another shell. So here we go, lots of fluff. I don't think there's much that you can do with it other than put it in the bin, which is what I've done now. And here are the tapered pipe cleaners now with a slightly slimmer ends. And what you need to do first of all is you need to connect 2 pipe cleaners now in the center by just twisting them around each other. So just do this for a couple of times, so about 2 centimeters along there. And then you take the next 2 pipe cleaners and begin twisting them together, same way, so in the middle. So just twist them around each other. So you've got them nice and secure. So you've got 4 gangly 2 sets of legs, 4 legs each. And then you're going to put them into each other. And insert the already made set into the twist. Okay, so I was meant to put this one in here before I twisted it shut all together. I don't think it matters too much. just get them joined together. And once you've got them joined together, you can adjust them. Here we go. It's like a big spider. I don't like spiders very much, I'm going to be honest. Right, we're going to put this to one side for now. I'm going to have a quick check what everybody is commenting. For some reason, my live feed here is not happy. Don't know why. Anyway, let's have a look. Trisha says, I love starfish because they are lucky. Bonnie says, I scuba dive, love them all. Sharks are my favorite, though scary. I mean, not all sharks are scary, I suppose, but just the thought of it is scary. It's all these films, they have a lot to answer for. Carol says, my favorite sea creature is the seahorse. Fascinating because it's the male that gives birth. Yeah, that I couldn't agree more. I think it's about time we change this round. Oh, we've got a new viewer, Sugar Puff. Hello. Popped in from the garden, says Carol, as it's actually warming up. Too much to work in. Oh, I wish it was like that here. Bridget says, it's like the Maker's 4th of July craft along. Welcome, international friends. That's it. Ashley says, love the octopus, especially playful and interactive. It's the way they move. Patricia says, definitely octopus because of Kraken and all the stories of mysterious, sorry, I said that very German, but that is the German word for octopus. Mysterious monster attacking ships and sailors. You like that, like Moby Dick. Marcia, hello from Michigan. I love whales and find them so interesting due to their family bonds. Orcas stay with their mothers for life. Oh, I want my children to stay with me for life. I want to be an orca. I definitely don't want to be an octopus mother. Just you don't want to be an octopus father either, because they die after they've done their bit to reproduce. The males die immediately, and the mothers die when their babies get born. So that's a one end street. Yeah, definitely don't want to be one of those. Favorite sea creature? Very difficult to choose, says Donna. Vampire venom. I'll have to think if I have a favorite sea creature, but I've seen orcas in the wild, spotted them off the coast of Seaford, New Haven, many moons ago. My sister and I shared binoculars to watch. That's so amazing. Ashley says, hopefully see some dolphins next week and hope to see some basking sharks too. Where are you off to, Ashley? I have fed wild dolphins and they splashed us. Ah, nice. Are there tame dolphins in Australia? Do you have tame dolphins swimming around somewhere? Donna says, I suppose you mean in the zoo. Donna said, have seen so many in the flesh. Sun stars are beautiful, like how crabs walk sideways. Love orca. I think, I don't know what we're talking about, what you've seen loads, but because I've lost the thread. Oh, okay. You don't throw words at me that I don't know. What are nudie brunch? Nudie brunch. What's that? Somebody educate me, please. Rose loves dolphins. Donna loves dolphins. Oh, I loved Flipper. I did as well when I was a child. Elizabeth, hello. I love watching baby turtles when they scurry down the beach after hatching to the sea, only seen on TV, but would love to see them for real. We actually went to Turkey one year, and there is a beach where they have areas that you're not allowed to walk on or around. They cross it off because they know that there's turtle eggs hidden under the sand, and they go out on turtle patrol. It's a beach where you can go and swim in the sea, but they go on turtle patrol, and as soon as the turtles hatch, they help them to get quickly into the sea before they get eaten. So I haven't seen the baby turtles, but we have seen the big turtles in their hospital there because they've been injured through propeller blades and stuff like that, so they nurture them to good health again. In Australia, there is an octopus, large one, who predicts winners and is on TV. Okay, are we talking about a real octopus or one dressed up as one? Right, I'm going to move on to make the next part of the octopus, which is the body. And for this, we're using my favorite core wool, the lanolin rich. And so basically, I'm going to get my felting mat at the ready now. Oh, needles are in there already. So if you're using the kit, you will have your little wool mat, which looks a little bit like that. You use both of them on top of each other. This is what we put in our kits in various sizes depending on the project, and you can rest your felting project on there. And these are made from recycled wool. They're fully compostable once you're done with them, so no harm done for any parts of the ocean, because I've read recently again how much plastic ends up in the ocean, way more than you think. So all this recycling that we put dutifully into recycling might not even end up being recycled, but just ends up in the ocean. With this, you don't have to have a bad conscience at all. It's also made in the UK, so the carbon footprint has been kept nice and low. And so you're going to make the pouch now that sits on top of the octopus. So you roll the wool up, and you roll it that is a sort of a little bit bigger than a golf ball. And then with your coarse needle, I might not be able to do that with my coarse needle, felt around the sides and top of the head to firm it up slightly. So what I want to do, I'm not going to open this up again, because that's definitely not the size of a golf ball. So I'm going to leave one end wispy, and I'm folding in the top part a little bit neater, leaving one end wispy. So it is roughly the size of a bit larger than a golf ball. And now I'm going to start working on it. I'm actually using a medium twisted needle. The twisted needles work really well for the lanolin rich core, because if you roll this really tight, the lanolin rich core, it becomes a really solid shape already, because the fibers sort of fuse together really willingly, because they are there's sort of a little bit of natural lanolin in there. If you've got a lanolin allergy, I would recommend don't use that wool. It might just set you off, or maybe you have to use gloves. But for those of us who don't have a problem with lanolin, it is really lovely to work with. You even get really soft hands afterwards as well. The wool is been washed. It's not dirty or anything like this, so don't worry, it's not greasy, because it's not clean. It's just been cold washed, and therefore the oil of the natural oil hasn't been washed out, so it's still in there. I know that you can even get wool wash that add lanolin back into the wool, because it actually makes it a lot softer and stops it from drying out. Right, so I've got the top and the sides felted, and this I've left fluffy, or unfelted I should say. And now I need to bend this over a little bit so that it becomes more like that. And where I apply the pressure here, that's exactly where I'm going to stab my needle, because that will pull the fibers in and will pull it so that it becomes more curved around to have that sort of typical octopus shape. So you can see that it sort of becomes more that curve. All of this will be covered in another color, so whatever it looks like, if there's a lump and a bump and a little crack, I wouldn't worry too much about it. So now I've got that shape, I'm going to sit it on top of my leg contraption there, like that. And then I'm going to turn it over so the legs are right on top of it, and I'm going to use a little bit more of that lanolin rich. Actually, this is the problem when I don't read the instructions properly. I used it all up, the lanolin rich, so I've got to scrape around for some other wool mixes. Probably tells you in the instruction not to use it all, but I tell you what, as it's going to be used up all together, it doesn't really matter. You could use another color, as it's going to be covered up all together. So we're just felting the pipe cleaner onto it, so you have to stab between the pipe cleaners, so make sure you don't stab straight into it, because your needle won't thank you for it. And that has fastened it on enough for me to go to the next page and see what happens next. So now you're going to cover the head with a thin layer of this. This is the fox rust. No, this is the fox red orange. Fox red variegated. My goodness. Okay, we've got 3 ones that are suitable for using for fox. They have the name fox in it. I'm just going to go through them. This is the fox red variegated, okay? We've also got a fox orange, which is more like a sort of a carrot top type color, but they're all variegated, so they've got that sort of darker fiber running through it. And then we've got the fox rust brown. In fact, we have 4. The fox rust brown, which is one of the most used colors that we use. And then we have got the fox rust brown variegated, so that is the fox rust brown with a fiber running through it. We have also got the red variegated, which I think is more the color of the pipe cleaners here, but that's not what we're using. I got that out first because I thought that was the one that we actually use, but it's not. It's the fox red variegated, even though it's kind of orange. But then there's also fox red orange. And just to confuse matters altogether, I'm just going to go to the front camera. We've also got a wool that's called the fox sheep, but that has got nothing to do with the color of the wool that you're buying. That is because the sheep is called a fox sheep, and it's called a fox sheep because it has got a fox colored head, and the rest is sort of a creamy beige. Right. Are you confused? Sorry. Go onto our website and just type in fox, and then all the colors will come up, and then you can maybe make sense of it without me gibbering lots of nonsense. Right, so now I'm going to cover the top up with the fox red variegated. So I'll take small batches, lay them over, stab them down, and I'm covering all of the white from the top of the legs for the time being. You see, this is the thing. Looking at this now, I would do this completely different and get the same result. So this is the beauty about needle felting, which it could also be the confusing bit, is that there's many ways of getting a similar result, and that makes us different needle felters so special as well, because we can all think of different ways of doing it. So I'm just using small batches, laying them over the white body and felting them down. What else do I know about octopus? Octopuses. So octopuses, what else did I read? Oh yes, they have blue blood. Their blood is copper based, apparently, which is why it's blue, because it absorbs oxygen better in the environment that they're in. But apparently with the sea acidity levels changing, that is not good for them if it becomes more acidic, because that means that it absorbs less oxygen. I think that's what I've got. If there's somebody out there, an expert on climate change and how it affects octopuses, then I apologize if I'm not getting it 100% right. I'm doing it from memory. So yeah. Right, last bit here around that side. Get that felted down, and then I'll give you a chance to catch up. So all I'm doing at the moment, I'm covering the white head of the octopus, and with this particular project, you don't actually, you do needle felt something a little bit separately with the eyes, but so now I've covered the, I've lost my shape a bit, so I'm just gonna follow that curved shape again. I think that looking at the instructions, you probably could have made that head a little bit longer, less of a ball shape, more of an oblong shape and less of a ball shape. But I think it's okay. We're still sort of heading in the right direction. Okay, so once you've done this, you're going to cover, you take a pinch of that wool and you felt it. No, first you wrap a thin layer around the top of each of the legs. So you see, I would have done that first. Just a little bit around each leg. If you pull it nice, we might have to bend the other legs out of the way. If you pull it nice and tight and let it sort of disappear into the chenille of the pipe cleaner, you don't have to actually felt that down at all. pulled it a bit tight on that one. I'm going to be a bit looser now. There we go. And 6 more to go. Why does it have to have so many legs? I'm just going to felt this down at the bottom because it's overlapping. Might as well get rid of it. Oh, don't hit the needle. Don't hit the wire. And then the next one. The thing is, our instructions, sometimes they do need updating as well because we are evolving, but this still does work, so don't think it's not working. But if you're an experienced needle felter and you think, oh, I would have done that very differently, do it differently. I'm not stopping you. Do what you like. There we go. That's 1, 2, 3 done. Another 5. I'd say that's probably the only thing I don't like about octopus is that they've got 8 legs I've got to do, and later on we've got to put all the suckers on. But I'm not going to do all the suckers. I can tell you that now, because I'll be falling asleep doing it. I hate repetitive work. So boring. Nope, that definitely was the pipe cleaner. I've just hit and I've slightly bent my needle, but we're okay still. Okay, I'm going along the leg. So having said wrap it loosely around it, then you don't need to needle felt. Now I am needle felting it on. It's much easier to get the wrapping straight, get the wrapping right straight off. There we go. So the other thing that I'm doing at the moment is I'm getting ready for our weekend retreat at the Wilderness Center in the Forest of Dean. Really looking forward to this. We've got, I think, I can't remember how many people exactly, but I think there's about 20 people coming. And we could still take a couple if you wanted to, but at some point we have to call it a day. So if you are interested, then do get in touch, info@themakers.co.uk, and this is the 15th to the 17th of July 2022. We have taken last minute takers. We have been known to do that. I'm going to go for a really coarse needle now, so I'm going to put these away and I'm going to get a coarse needle, work on this, get it a bit, felt it down a bit faster. Now what leg am I on? Oh, I've got 3 more to go. 3 more. Right. Round it. So I'm doing quite a loose wrap, because if you wrap it tight, you just make the leg really skinny, because you flatten all the chenille down, and then you've got to put a lot of wraps on it to even it out again. And 2 more legs. Yay, nearly there. There. I have been working for the last few days on the Maker's Box number, I don't know, 63 I think it is, which is going to be the tiger moth. I will show you it, because it is actually a really nice make. If you have had if you've got any hesitations or trepidation whether you should make a tiger moth, in a minute when I show you what it actually will look like. This is the August box, so we're on the dolphin at the moment, so don't go off ordering it if you think it's going to be the tiger moth. It's not. At the moment you will get the dolphin, which is also a really lovely project. We always try and teach you new techniques in every project, and you have exclusive access to those techniques. As a subscriber, we post them on YouTube with a private link. Right, so I have now covered the top of the legs. They're all sticking out still, like really straight. Now I'm going to make a base that goes underneath the octopus to finally hide the last bit of white wool and the wire. So you take a pinch of red wool and felt it separately on your mat into a circle. Do that. And then you place the felted circle under the legs, and then add pinches of red wool over the legs on the upper sides. Felt these loose fibers onto place from both above and underneath the legs. Okay, so there's my circle. It's almost too coarse a needle now. Oh, I'm going to keep it a bit wispy. And then I put this underneath it, and now I'm going to go and stab it into the octopus between the legs. So these wispy fibers, I'm going to stab into the octopus so the base is covered now as well. And then I'm going to go over the top of that base again with wispy wool to do what I'm doing now in reverse, but just with wispy wool rather than another circular cover there. Set this down a bit neater. So what you are prepping for now is you need to make a nice solid part of the leg to add the suckers on later. So I think it's worth going over this a little bit more firmly, and also doing the same from the top. I'm just going to get my shape back here. Still a bit of okay, that needle is bouncing now. We don't want a bouncing needle. Go down a needle size. If your needle felting needle is bouncing, then go down a needle size to stop that from bouncing. You really want that the most sort of grippy feeling that you can get with a needle, because you want it to go nice and firmly into your make. I'm just felting all over to firm it up a little bit and get the shape, keep the shape that's slightly forward. Oh, these legs get in the way. They really do. They already have a mind of their own. There. Okay, I'll let you catch up in a minute. So the next step that I'm about to do is to cover more wool from the top of the legs to get more of a base going for the suckers later on underneath the legs. But I'm going to do that in a minute. I will show you the August tiger moth first and let you catch up. Right, so this is what it looks like at the moment. There, the body shape is still there. It definitely needs more over the top, and that's why we're doing that in a minute. And I'm just going to go onto the large camera and show you this creature now. It looks like a very, very horrible looking spider to me right now, because it looks wrong altogether. Because it doesn't look quite like an octopus, and it looks too much like a spider. Okay, I'm just going to put it to one side. So are you ready for this? This is, you won't get the frame, by the way. I have put the tiger moth into a frame because it really does look nice. Are you ready? There. How is that? I can't see. How is that? Do you like it? So it's quite 3D. I don't know if you can see it. It sticks out a bit because you are making the parts separately. Can you see? And it is needle felted onto a canvas fabric. It is the actual fabric is A4, and obviously it's a larger than life. It's a giant tiger moth. This is not how big they are, so don't worry, they're only tiny. But it's a garden tiger moth. That's what the model is based on. And it's fun. It really, there's lots of new bits and pieces. So if you want to learn something new, this is a perfect project for you. And of course, you can do lots of different butterflies afterwards, or moths afterwards as well. Let's see what else I've got. So we've done the next. Oh yeah, let's just show you for the last time, I promise you, the summer retreat details. So Eric the Viking is on the cards. He's about 50 centimeters tall. I don't know what that's in inches. I would say that's probably about 30 inches tall. You don't need to make a Viking. You can make another standing figure. I know some people are making gnomes and trolls and famous creatures. So you can make different types, and you can either have a single bell tent for £430. That includes all the materials, all the food for 2 full days. It's basically half a day on Friday, a full day on Saturday, and then a half a day on Sunday. and or you can still share a room or a bell tent with somebody else for £380 per person. So that is still available 15th to the 17th of July, but we are getting close to finalizing all, because I have to put together lots of exciting goodie bags, because you get lots of tools and all the materials and some extra bits and pieces that you can take home and enjoy. So right, let's get back to the octopus. So I'm going to add now the wool over the top of the legs. So from the upper side of your octopus, define the legs by felting in between them. If there's a lot of loose fiber, it can be folded back on itself and felted into place. Okay, so I'm going over the top of the leg, felt it down, between the leg, and then if there's too much, I'm going underneath it. There. And the other side. And now I've got to do this for 8 legs. Yeah, this is the bit I'd enjoy the least. It's like repetitive work, but I guess it needs to be done, so I am doing it. And it will complete the look. Okay, how is everybody doing with guessing their favorite, or not guessing, but telling us about their favorite sea creatures? Is there any, we should have asked what's your least favorite sea creature and get some stories out of that. I think there was a really amazing film on, I'm not entirely sure where it was, but maybe I shouldn't say anyway, but there was definitely an amazing eye-opening film about an octopus that has changed people's views on them. That they are actually incredibly intelligent creatures. They can solve problems. They have a memory as well. So if they will remember how they've solved the problem, and they can have sort of almost like a personality as well. So they're not all just the same. They have actually got a personality. Right, nearly there. So I'm going over the top first, felt it down, going between the legs, and the body gets bent one way and then the other, and then whatever is left, I split either side of the leg and felt it down. I am actually going to Germany very soon. So one of the live streams that will fall on Tuesday when I'm not here, I'm going to pre-record, and we will still stream it as though it is live. The only person who isn't live will be me, but everybody else who will be commenting, participating in the competition, Alicia will be there live. So you just have to ignore that I'm not reading your comments and interacting, because at the time of me doing it you won't be there, but that's okay. And that is probably the first time I have actually taken time off in the last, since the pandemic, since 2020. Yeah, over 2 years. It's the first time I've actually taken a holiday. When you are a small business, I think it's hard. Well, if you're a small business, you know what I'm talking about. But when you have a small business, it is hard to comprehend how the service to the business goes over and beyond what many people would do, because at the end of the day, it's just a job. And I'm not saying that you don't feel passionate about your job, but it's still different from when you are running your own business. You just got to be there, because if you're not, nobody else will be. When it comes to it, it's all, at the end of the day, it's all down to you. So I've been working at the weekend to work ahead 2 weeks in effect, to make sure that everything's there for when I'm not there. And that's just how it is. Right, whilst I'm doing this, I'm going to read some of the comments here as well. So hang on, I need to scroll along. Jane says, hi Alicia and Fluff Friends, just got here. Oh, hi Alicia. I mean, hi Jane. I thought you were there earlier. Didn't you say that you're not going to make along? Carol says, I was so excited to see an octopus while snorkeling on holiday last summer. Freaked me out a bit at first, but if I'm honest. Well, I think they sort of have, yeah, it's just so many arms. It's the arms. I think it's the arms. What do you do with all the arms to compute it all? Sugar Puff says, we did a boat trip of our local arena recently and saw lots of seals. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love seals. I'm hoping to see some seals when I go to Germany, because I'm going on a small island in the North Sea where my sister lives. And there's a whole bank where the seals come and have their pups. So I'm hoping to go and see them there as well. I love seals. I wouldn't want to get close to a seal mama, because I think if they think that their babies are threatened, they can move incredibly fast. I've had that before. I saw seals here on the English coast in the sort of northeast where I used to live, and it is quite amazing if you get too close. There's an almighty power behind these what look like great big immovable and fat creatures lying around, but my god, they can move. Lorna says, don't really have a favorite, but if I had to pick one, I'd choose a Vanquita porpoise, a rare whale. Oh, nice. I have to look up all these things afterwards. Oh, here we go. Nudibranchs are sea slugs. They are very colorful. Pronounced nudibranchs. Ah, okay, I even said it wrong. Nudibranchs. Okay, I didn't know that. You see, I've learned something too. And Bridget says my favorite is weedy sea dragon. Is that what is weedy sea dragon? Is that a type of a sea creature, or have I missed something else again? I am so uncultured. Carol says, turtles are my favorite sea creature. I once helped a baby to the sea on a Greek island 35 years ago. It had flipped over onto its back. Oh. Right, I think I'm leaving it here now. Otherwise, I could perfect this and do more and more and more. But I think that is probably the base done. Well, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, you should be able to put the suckers on there. It feels like a good base to put suckers on. And otherwise, I mean, as always, with needle felting, you can perfect it. You can work on a project for years if you want to. But it's also good enough for those of us who are a little bit more impatient when it comes to crafting, or anything in life, actually. Okay, so I'm going to go and move on to the next step. So this is the boring bit, which I'm probably going to start off, but I'm not going to complete, because you've got to now put tiny, tiny little white spots all along, all around the base here, going towards the leg. And I really genuinely don't think I want to do this for the rest of the live stream and beyond. But the main thing is that you can pre-shape the white little dot already. Maybe you want to do almost like a production line of white spots and then felt them on whichever way you want to do that, but have sort of a pattern going that it's obvious that you're going towards the leg, rather than just giving it a nice pattern underneath underneath itself. So go along the legs. That's what I'm trying to say. And then oh, that just disappeared, that white thing. So if you go too small on these white spots, then they disappear. If you go too big, you have to felt them down a lot more. There, and of course they can be different size, so they don't need to be exactly the same. So work your way all along, bit by bit, on each leg. There's 8, as if I need reminding. Anyway, you probably can do this in your own time, and so can I. I want to now turn this over. So I've started with the suckers. I want to turn this over now, and I'm going to work on giving it its eyes now. So for this you have the dragon mix, and before we put the eyes on, we need to just prepare the top of the head. So the dragon mix can come in all kinds of different shades. It's usually sort of almost a bit like an autumnal shade. So you're going to mix the fox red with the dragon mix, mixing wool. There's lots of tutorials on how to do it, but you can see me do it now. I lay the fibers on top of each other, tease them apart, and I'm always staying in the same direction. So I don't crisscross them. I keep them running from the left to the right, or the right to the left, whichever way around. And then when you've got it mixed up, you lay this over the top. So you're adding almost sort of a bit of a different shade onto the octopus. Yours might look slightly different because you will have a slightly different mix, perhaps with a dragon mix. Like I say, it does turn out differently with every batch that we have. And cover the top up, felt a thin layer of this wool mix over the back of the head. So the back of the head, which is just got to get my bearings now. So the yes, that's right, that is the back of the head around here. And then we're going to make the eyes. So the eyes are needle felted, all needle felted, nothing to glue in, just needle felted. So there's the shape of the octopus now, and I'm going to give it its eyes now. For this, you take a wisp of the mixed wool. So I've got to mix a little bit more. There. A wisp is usually what you can sort of manage to mix quite without having to fight the wool. And then you so you take one wisp, maybe split that in half, and you roll this from one side, felting as you go. So start rolling it in, and you felt it as you go. So I'm rolling it, I felt it down. I'm rolling it, I felt it down. And I'm rolling it, and I felt it down. That's basically the motion. Ignoring the ends being wispy, but just get it into a rolled wool shape. There. That's it. And lay the rolled wool onto your octopus to form the eye. The rolled part is the edge of the eye, and the unrolled part helps smooth the shape into the head behind the eye. Felt into place with a medium needle, repeat for the other eye. So, so basically we are putting the eye here. So that's the bulged bit here, that's the legs. Putting the eye here. And I'm using these wispy fibers to felt it into the head. So you've got almost like an empty eye socket here now, but it's slightly sticky out that eye. And I'm going to do this on the other side as well now, because it's always good to work symmetrically. Just mix a bit more. So roll it, stab it. roll it, stab it, roll it, stab it, and then you've got a little rolled shape with fluffy ends on either side. And that now goes on the other side. So I'm curving that slightly. I'm felting the wispy ends into the head, leaving that sausage shape slightly bulging. And now I just got to do the same to match the other eye. What I would actually do, that I don't think that is done here, but what I would do now is if you have or this could be something that you just take away as a tip anyway, but if you've got an area that now looks like you've attached something, looks a little bit uneven, then you could just take a little bit of that wool mix that you've just made, more maybe, and just overlay it so that the join is covered up by a dusting of wool, and as you stab that dusting of wool in, it kind of melts it all into one shape. That's what I would do. In fact, that's what I am doing. And then you've got an octopus with quite strange looking eyes at the moment, because we need to put the eyes inside. And to do this, you roll a tiny ball of the light yellow between your thumb and finger, then place it into the eye socket. Tiny ball. I say tiny ball, but it needs to fit the eyes, so I don't think it's as tiny as you might think it is. Put it in there and just felt it without felting it before. Just felt it into that hollow of the eye by stabbing around the edges, and then you can felt straight into it to flatten it out a bit, or to shrink the size a little bit. Can you see? And with the brown wool, the Portuguese merino, you are putting a slit into it. So the pupil basically, which is slightly oval. Take a little bit of the brown, twist this between your fingers. So if it's like that, you want the eye to go like that. And that completes one eye. And then you've got to do it again on the other side. And as you can see me do this, I stab all over again after a while, because that's just what the nature of needle felting. It's exactly what you do. So you will have wool left over from your kit. You don't need all of it to make the octopus, so you can add that into your stash and keep it for one of our stash busting projects. Or maybe you just want to make more than one octopus. Like I say, you could, now that you've got the instructions from the kit, you could, this is definitely a smaller eyeball. Yes, I need to add a bit more. I'm going to take that out again and make a bit of a bigger ball. So you could make a different colored one. I really think that that deep red variegated works really well as well. It matches the pipe cleaners even better. Right, once the eye is in, let's check. It's about the same. And then you put the brown over it as well. Making sure that the shape of the pupil is the same as well. So Keep checking it against the other side. And if need be, adjust. I'm just going to felt that eye down a bit rather than making the other one bigger. That's one eye, that's the other eye. That'll do. Right, and that in theory is the octopus done. And I think the you need to sort of get the shape right to give it that final authentic look. So straighten all the legs out, and then what gives it the authentic look is by curling these tiny little ends of the tentacles in. That is what will give it the final look. So you've got like little curls here. Let's curl these in, and that will also help it to cling to things if you want to display it. They act like little hooks. So work your way around the ends. 8 legs, never forget that. And I think Alicia is probably going to tell me the winner now. Right, we've got a winner, and the winner is Marcy L. Well done, Marcy. Drop us an email to info@themakers.co.uk, and then we will get back to you with a discount code that you can use. It's a gift voucher for £15, and of course the same applies to those of you watching on Thursday live on Facebook. Whoever has won, then send us an email, info@themakers with 2 S's. .co.uk. Tell us that you've been the live stream winner, and we will in return send you a code to use on our website worth £15. And the beauty about this is that you can, it doesn't matter where you are, whether you are in this country or anywhere else in the world, you can use that whenever and however you want to. Right, and I think that's probably that one done. I think looking at it, I probably would have wanted that nose to be a bit bigger. So if you are making this, then maybe the golf ball reference could be a bit bigger than a golf ball, or maybe already a little bit more oblong. You can certainly felt all of this still into shape. There's nothing stopping you doing that. So, and then there were 2, and bend the legs to your liking, so that it can, I don't know, wherever it wants to be, however it wants to be. 2 of these amazing and intriguing sea creatures side by side, ready to swim the ocean and either enlighten you or delight you or freak you out, totally, whichever way. Share, as always, share your octopus make with us on Everyone a Maker, our Facebook group. And if you are sharing this on social media, and you can tag us at the Makers on Instagram and also on Twitter, and or you tag us on Facebook by using @themakers.co.uk. And I'm just going to have a look if I've forgotten anything to mention. I've shown you the moth, I've shown you the dolphin. Oh yes, I will just say, please get in touch if you're interested in making this masterclass of the lion with Joan Prowse, who is an accomplished artist. And we are offering 2 weekends at the moment, the 10th and the 11th of September, or the 17th and 18th. And it is a non-residential workshop taught to you by an artist who makes an exquisite lion with you, teaches you all the things about anatomy, oh, I can't even say the word, anatomy, and the symmetry and how to make the eyes, everything's completely needle felted. So this might be the project for you that you've been waiting for. It will be in Nailsworth in Gloucestershire at our headquarters. Come and see us. We've been closed for I don't know how long now to the public, but we're opening up for you to come and join us at that workshop. So again, get in touch, info@themakers.co.uk, and then we can put you on the list, and as soon as we know how we're doing for numbers, we will invite you to join the actual course, and send you the details out to tell you that you've been successful in getting a place. Right, I'm just going to have a last little look. Oh my goodness, so many comments. Lots of congratulations to Marcia. Diana says, my favorite sea creature that I have actually seen is a green turtle. When snorkeling, I met a turtle face to face. He paused and looked me in the eye and swam on again. An unforgettable experience. I wonder what he thought. Sugar Puff says, I'm currently crocheting a pumpkin using the nearly exact same color wool as Steffi is using for the octopus. Yes, it's nearly pumpkin time. We are getting our pumpkin packs ready, and dare I say, I've just worked this morning. I fit so much in my day. I also worked this morning on a can I say it? On a Halloween mouse with a jack-o'-lantern. Okay, I've said it now. It's so cute. I can see him just sitting here, and I am loving it, but I'm not showing it to you yet because I haven't decided if that's the final thing yet. Right, that's all from me today. Have a lovely remainder of the day wherever you are. And as I said, do share with us what you are making from today's live stream. And we'll see you very soon.